Live from our studios in the nation's capital, your most reliable source for news, national, regional, and the rest of the world. Welcome to Kairi FM's Major News. Here's your presenter.
Good evening. In the headlines, the Prime Minister says government can account for monies spent in supplementary estimates. Tourism Minister estimates construction of international airport will generate 3,000 jobs. From the region, Trinidad cops make arrest as protesters reached the savannah, and UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees face funding crisis. The details of these and other stories in a moment.
Yo, what's up?
Bro, if you're wrong any top-up vendor, put $20 Digicel top-up for me. Right now it's tight for me to leave them.
You know you can do some of these transactions on your phone?
Oh yeah?
Yeah man, go to my Digicel app. If you don't have it, download it. Here's the directions. Launch the app, press top-up, enter your number, press continue, then you put in your amount. Press checkout, then select the payment method, debit or credit. Then press pay now. You're done. That's it.
God, sir. Thank you. Boy, you saw it just like a radio ad.
Ha! No problem, bro. I hear that all the time. Top up, purchase plans, or send credit using the My Digicel app. Get it now from Google Play or Apple Store. Digicel.
Do you listen to Kairi? Download the Kairi FM Android app on Google Play Store for 24/7 radio on the go. Visit our website at www.kairifm.com and stay connected with all your favorite programs. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram and never miss a beat on your genuine sound. Kairi FM.
This Christmas, unlock a new digital world with 45% off a new DL3 Plus Pro smartphone from Digicel. Get it now when you buy a 30-day 25GB Prime Jumbo bundle to enjoy all your favorite Digicel apps. The best smartphone with the best apps. Enjoy a 6.2-inch screen to watch more Christmas classics in Playgo. Dual 5-megapixel camera to capture more Christmas moments. And then store it all in Billo, from blockbuster movies and chop-chopping music to streaming live sports, video chats, and so much more. Get yourself a DL3 Plus Pro for $200 or gift it to someone you love. Visit a Digicel store today.
Are you looking for good eggs? I mean quality fresh eggs straight from the farm? Well, we have exactly what you're looking for, no matter the quantity. We've got the right amount. Visit us at Prince City downstairs Kairi FM on Independence Street for your fresh farm eggs, or call telephone 448-7331, 448-7330 or 448-8752 and we'll get you your fresh farm eggs.
I'm not exaggerating, boiling with excitement.
Welcome back, and we welcome listeners who are tuned in via Variety Radio in Antigua, Barbuda, and Flow Television, Channel 119 in St. Lucia. Dominica's Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit has justified expenses in supplementary estimates for 2020-2021, saying that donor agencies and bilateral partners will attest to Dominica's financial prudence. Mr. Skerrit made his contribution this morning as government seeks parliamentary approval of supplementary estimates amounting to $275,150,327.13.
And I can say without any fear of contradiction, Mr. Speaker, that this Labour Party government can account and has been able to account for every single cent of its $275 million. And it is for these and other reasons why the global financial system, the institutions, organizations, are committed to working with this government because they know and they have proven by their own independent audits that when they give Dominica money under this Dominican Labour Party administration, the monies can be accounted for.
Mr. Skerrit says the Caribbean Development Bank and the World Bank are among the financial institutions that the government of Dominica has great relations with.
You speak to the European Union, you speak to the World Bank, you speak to the CDB, you speak to the IMF, they will tell you. And you can speak to our bilateral partners. Because, Mr. Speaker, as you know, they come and they do their own independent audits, They audit things. And they will tell you that Dominica is one of the better partners they're doing work with. And so we're very grateful for this. But there appears, Mr. Speaker, to be a calculated, premeditated attempt by the Workers' Party to undermine the Citizenship by Investment program. And every opportunity they get, and they even create opportunities, all in an effort to destroy the CBI, the major source of non-tax revenues for the people of Dominica.
Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit. Mr. Skerrit says the decisions for COVID-19 booster shots will be soon announced. He made that announcement this past Sunday on Anu Pale.
Another point I want to draw to the public's attention is that we will be announcing soon a decision to allow for booster shots among the vulnerable population. We are simply waiting now to increase our stock of vaccines. Once that is in place, then we'll announce the precise date of the commencement of that decision which the Cabinet has taken with regards to the booster shots based on the recommendation of the Ministry of Health. And so persons who have underlying health issues, the elderly, you'll be afforded the opportunity to get a booster shot. And we are hoping to get some additional doses of vaccines very soon.
In other news this evening, medical staff risk disciplinary action for violating the rules of engagement of the country's hospital service and unethical practices. Word from Chief Executive Officer of the Dominica China Friendship Hospital, Dr. Dexter James, who has urged the members of the public to report their concerns to the hospital authority's independent quality department.
We are hearing situations where some of our doctors have asked patients to refer to the site. And I'm saying to patients, that's not the way it will happen. If you're put in that ethical dilemma, make a report to complaint to the quality department. Any member of the public who is put in that ethical dilemma where you see one of our specialists and our patient clinics and you ask to see them in the private clinic, make a report to the quality department and the matter will be investigated. The sanctions may involve revocation of the privileges to those doctors. This has to stop.
That was the Chief Executive Officer of the Dominica China Friendship Hospital, Dr. Dexter James. An estimated 3,000 direct and indirect jobs to be expected from the international airports. Minister for Tourism, International Transport and Maritime Initiatives, Denise Charles, made the announcements during her debates at the House of Assembly on Monday.
So, Mr. Speaker, this Dominica Labour Party administration is constructing the international airport, a project which I consider to be the most transformative in our 43 years of existence. As not only will it open a major gateway for tourism and trade, it will create, based on my own estimation, approximately 3,000 direct and indirect jobs in the economy, Mr. Speaker.
Currently, the airport site is being cleared by local contractors in preparation for further geotechnical works and also the contractor's actual site works, according to the International Airport Project's Facebook page. Ms. Charles has appealed to the youth to position themselves to capitalize on the job positions that will open when the international airport becomes operational.
I am again making a call to our youth to position themselves to take advantage of the jobs that will be created on the completion of the international airport. We need air traffic controllers, we need safety officers, engineers, mechanics, electricians, safety officers. So this is a time for the youth to make wise decisions about their career goals or paths. And Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Tourism is already working to ensure that by the time the airport is complete, Dominica will already be a destination of choice for visitors. We have launched a major digital campaign which is doing extremely well, called In Our Nature.
Tourism Minister Denise Charles. Parliamentary representative for the Grand Bay constituency, Dr. Vince Henderson, says Dominica has a valuable product in the investor citizenship market. Mr. Henderson, in his contribution to the House debates on the supplementary estimate, said a strict due diligence process is among reasons for the CBI program's value.
So, Mr. Speaker, the process, you apply, the background search is done, not just a desktop background looking for Interpol, most wanted list and so forth, but there's a physical check. The agents go out to determine whether the person lives where they say they live, whether they work where they say they work, whether they attended the schools that they claim they attended. So from time to time, you may find a refusal because an applicant lied on the application and said they graduated from a university that didn't graduate from. It is that intrusive. The due diligence process is that intrusive. After that process has been completed, a recommendation is made. It is reviewed. It is scored. There's a system of scoring every applicant to see if that applicant is suitable to be approved for citizenship, not a passport, for citizenship, to get a certificate of citizenship. Once that applicant has been approved for citizenship, they are free to proceed to apply for a passport.
Henderson, a former permanent representative to the Organization of American States and the United Nations, told the House that passports are only processed at the Passport and Immigration Department here.
Once that process is gone through, the application is sent to the passport office in Roseau in the Commonwealth of Dominica and nowhere else. Even if the submission is made somewhere at one of our embassies or missions or consulates, but they must be sent to Roseau, to the passport office for processing. And if in processing that application, it is found that there's something missing or something wrong, it will not be approved.
Henderson recalls a time when the island's CBI program ranked last when compared to St. Kitts Nevis' CBI program. He has credited the program's climb to success to Dominica's Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerritt's relations with other nations. Minister for Governance, Public Service Reforms, Citizen Empowerment, Social Justice and Ecclesiastical Affairs, Greta Roberts, has reiterated government's commitment towards education of Dominican students both here and abroad. Roberts says the Ministry of Education and Human Resource Planning, Vocational Training and National Excellence will continue to educate and prepare citizens to live productive lives in this complex and ever-changing society. She was presenting the supplementary estimates to Parliament Monday.
Education is tied to every aspect of national development. Education transforms lives. This Dominica Labour Party government fully understands the importance of investing in education. On November 3rd, 2018, this government made a commitment that it would pay 40% of student loans for all returning students. Mr. Speaker, government continues to honor all our commitments, and as such, $4,109,639 was paid to several financial institutions on behalf of our students. Additionally, $8,666,008 was approved to meet payment of tuition and housing for students pursuing higher education. Further, $3,393,994 was spent on demolition for the construction of the Maho Primary School in alignment with national resilience guidelines.
These amounts, which sum up $16,169,642, were approved as additional budgetary allocations to the Ministry of Education, Human Resource Planning, Vocational Training and national excellence. Meantime, Roberts says the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development received an additional sum of $789 million, $212,753 of this amount, $22,508,922 was utilized under the Land Settlement and Development Program.
$14,867,147 was used as compensation to property owners located in Wesley and Woodford Hill for the development of the international airport. Mr. Speaker, we promised the people of Dominica an international airport, and by the grace of God, this government will deliver it. $3,739,007 was paid for the acquisition of the properties to facilitate the Eastern Island roadworks under the Disaster Vulnerability Reduction Project. $1,229,959 for land acquired at Antrim, Loader, and Gillett. $873,334 for the payment of land acquired for the construction of the Newtown Health Center and Upper Riverbank Housing Development.
Dominica's Minister for Governance, Public Service Reform, Citizen Empowerment, Social Justice and Ecclesiastical Affairs, Greta Roberts, speaking on behalf of Dominica's Prime Minister, Roosevelt Skerrit. Trinidad police have arrested several people who were involved in a gathering near the Queen's Park Savannah mass vaccination site in Port of Spain this afternoon. The people came in support of the first wave movement, whose members began a walk from the Point 14 hospital through San Fernando and central Trinidad to the Red House before ending the paddock on the Savannah. Some people heeded the call of activities who, for weeks, have been calling on people to stand your ground and push back against government's policies. Some of the persons at the Savannah said they were not affiliated with any group but decided to join in. According to a statement from the First Wave movement, because our government failed to lead with integrity, equality, fairness and justice, and in the interest of our people, our government ministers have lost all self-respect and have disrespected their office in doing so. They have disrespected us by not delivering, and we in turn have disrespected ourselves, lost our self-respect by accepting nothing else over good governance. The head of the United Nations Agency for Palestinian Refugees has said it was unable to pay its 28,000 employees on time this month because of the major funding crisis, warning of potential cuts in vital services to millions of people amid a global pandemic. The UNRWA runs schools, clinics, and food distribution programs for millions of registered Palestinian refugees across the Middle East, mainly the descendants of Palestinians who were forcibly displaced from their towns and villages in what is now Israel in the run-up to its establishment in 1948. The 5.7 million refugees, most of them live in camps that have been transformed into built-up but often impoverished residential areas in the Israeli-occupied West Bank, East Jerusalem, and Gaza Strip, as well as Jordan, Syria, and Lebanon. The UNRWA head, Felipe Lazzarini, told the reporters in Jordan on Tuesday that the resumption of United States support for the agency this year, which had been halted by the Trump administration, was offset by a reduction in funding by other donors. Staff went on strike on Monday after being informed last week that salaries would be delayed, but halts the action following mediation. You've just heard the news locally, regionally, and internationally. Before we leave you, a quick look at the headlines once again. Locally, Dominica's Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit says governments can account for money spent in supplementary estimates. Tourism Minister estimates construction of international airport will generate 3,000 jobs. From the region, in Trinidad, police make arrest as protesters reach the savannah, and UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees face funding crisis. Do join us tomorrow morning at 6:30 for the first newscast of the day. On behalf of the entire news and production team, thank you for listening.
This